Go to the end. This is a statement that Neville Goddard made, and many teachers talk about is going to your wish fulfilled and staying there. However, this video was inspired from a new client that I work with today, actually, and I'm going to walk you through what I helped her go through and to discover what the end is. I noticed that many people have a difficult time deciding what the end is, and like how you can come up with a scene or an assumption or whatever. But the most important thing is to identify what your end is. And so many teachers talk about this, and even if it's not related to manifesting, it's like knowing what you want, what you really want, it makes it so helpful for you to persist in, for it to feel natural, for you to feel the fulfillment of it. And that is what you want to be focused on, is going to your heart's desire, to your end. And that's what I'm going to walk you through for any of you who are struggling with what your end is and what that really means. This video is for you. But before we get started, welcome. My name is Rose, and welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you can live a life that you love. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me or joining the Rosey Life course and community, you can go to RoseyLife.com for that information. And like I said in my video yesterday, I also have a new course called The One, and it really dives in deep to what imagination is. And instead of just watching videos with bombarding information, this course just focuses on what imagination is and how to use it. And it also addresses, for any of you who are new to manifesting, what techniques are, processes, and how that all fits into imagination. But really understanding who you are and why this all works was the most valuable thing that I learned. And I wish that I would have had this video when I first started learning about the laws of attraction and assumption and any of these teachers. So you can, the link is down below if you're interested in learning about that. So this client, she was just when she first started sharing with me, she was just very overwhelmed with what she was doing. And her questions were like, am I doing it right? Am I focusing on the right thing? She was really focused on the 3D, on the circumstances that were happening. And she has a strong desire to not be in those circumstances. However, she was focused more on the circumstances than she was on the desire. And when I asked her a few questions, I said, what is your end? And she shared that with me. So remember, your heart's desire, right? The wish fulfilled, going to the end, that is your heart's desire, meaning what it is that you really want. And sometimes it feels impossible to want something, or we don't see that that is the desire because we get caught up in fixing the problem. So for this client, I'll share with you what that looks like. And so here's what she did. So going to the end, right? Again, it's your heart's desire. It is what you really want. And she was focused more on fixing the problem. She was talking about debt and mortgage and that there's creditors calling and those kind of things. Okay, so her end goal was to have $150,000 to pay it off, to pay off the debt and the rest of the mortgage. That was her desire, okay? So she had been doing things like meditations, affirmations, scripting, those kind of things, feeling anxious, really trying, she said, not to focus on 3D. However, when I asked her a few questions, one of the questions that I asked her is, why the 150? And she says, well, to pay off the debt, right? It makes sense. And I said, okay, but then here's how I like to really help guide my clients through what it is that they desire, because then it's easy to create a scene from there. And then I asked her, I said, why 150? And she said, to pay these things off. And I said, okay. I said, but why? I said, what happens after you pay this off. Like, let's say you get the 150 and you pay this stuff off. I said, then what happens? And she says, well, then I can focus on fixing my house and selling it, because what she says her and her guy would like to do is be able to move into a house that has a bigger kitchen. And then I said, why? And she said, because she loves to bake and she just wants more room, but she first needs to take care of this, and then also move into, and then look into later on to moving a house. And I said, okay, so doing this has given her a lot of feeling of anxiety and a lot of resistance, okay, because she has these bills in her face. She's trying to go to the end and coming up with the money to pay it off, because she feels she'll feel relief when she's done that. However, when I asked her more questions, I said, well, it sounds like your desire then is not so much the 150,000, because you said that once you get that, you don't even want to be in this house. You want to be in a bigger house with a bigger kitchen so you can bake. and she said, well, yeah, that's what I want. And I said, well, that sounds like your desire, doesn't it? Does that sound like your desire, or does just getting this debt off your plate sound like your desire? And she says, well, no, I want this. But she was seeing that these things had to be taken care of and handled and paid off, and the money had to come from somewhere in order for her to be able to even think about moving into a house with a kitchen of her desire. So then when we asked her more, then I found out that she likes baking. So then I said, so if you were in your kitchen, standing there in your kitchen, knowing that you can bake whatever you want, you have that room to bake, and it's like the perfect kitchen for you. You just have space, and you can make whatever you want. So I asked her a few questions about, different ways to do it, and if she wants to hear her guy tell her something, or if she just wants to stand there thinking something or feeling something, right? So she finally came up with her scene, and when she did it, when she hit the scene that was for her, you can tell it was just so natural, and she felt so good and felt so much relief. And I said, how much resistance is in that scene? And she said, none. And I said, then that's your end. Because I said, with you going to that end, you being in that kitchen of your dreams and you feeling, I said, that already implies all of this, that this was handled, the mortgage was handled, the debt's paid off, and that you were able to get into the house that you want. All of those things naturally are part of your desired end. And that's where she was getting really caught up, was in all the details of how this could happen. And she was looking at manifesting as a way to fix a problem, to come up with a solution to the discomfort that she has in her current circumstances. So this is what I used to do as well, you guys, and I see a lot of people do this still. This is why I made this video, is you don't have to fix problems. Manifesting is not about fixing problems. It's about going to the end where your heart's desire is. It's asking yourself, if I can have anything I want, if I can wake up tomorrow and this would be my life, what would that be? But for many, it might feel like a stretch at the beginning. You're just like, oh my God, I get to dream that big. I get to have that much of to choose from. Yes, that's the whole point. We get to pick an experience for ourselves that we want to do out of all the possibilities that there is. It's like, remember, all creation's finished. So if you can imagine it and you can think it, it already exists. In fact, there's already a version of you that's living it right now. So on top of this version of you right now, it's all happening at the same time. So letting yourself go to the end of thinking what you desire, a lot of times we think it's the money, and it can be the money. I'm not saying that this person don't manifest a 150, that's not what your heart desire. If that truly is your heart's desire, right, then you manifest that. But when I asked her a few questions, we quickly found that what her real desire is to be in a different house with her dream kitchen. And the relief, she looked like a different person when she said that, when I had her imagine that with me. And that's how you know it's your heart desires, because you're just like, it almost feels like you're free, you're light. And you're just not from relief that I had the debt paid off. That's more fixing a problem. Do you see? Or whatever it is that you are manifesting. This is about money, but you can quickly put this into a career or romantic relationships or friendships or health or body or anything. It's what is it that you desire to be able to do? What is it that you would be experiencing within? Like, how would you feel? And that is what you want to do when you're selecting your end. So I encourage you to sit down and ask yourself, what do I truly want? What is my heart's desire? And that's why the intro to my videos, I say that is freeing your mind and following your heart, because your heart will lead you. Your heart's desire is your passion, it is what you want. And a lot of people think that they don't know what they want. But that's just not it. You're just not used to practicing selecting from an infinite catalog of, you can have anything you want and you don't have limitations. You have no one. You don't have age limitations, money limitations, country, space, time, nothing. You don't have any limitations on what you can have. You only have to select what you desire and persist in that state. And that is so much easier to persist in something that you just love, because love feels easy. Love is light. Love feels fun. Love is free. Love feels just so much like, it just feels so inspiring, and that you just want to relish in it. You want to dream about it. You want to feel the embodiment of that. It's not effort, because if you feel effort, then you're trying to fix something. And that's you trying to figure out the details of how it has to happen. So I intend that this video was helpful for you, and that you guys enjoy it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking my videos and for subscribing to The Rosey Life. And I appreciate you guys so, so much. I love you, and you're all so freaking amazing. I'll see you soon. Bye.